So the agenda for this demo, let me share my screen. So as you all know, I'll be talking more on GitHub Actions. So I have this agenda for today's session. So where we will discuss about the training details, timings, and what we'll be covering as part of this training. And also, like there will be a little surprise and at the end of this session that will be part of this course. So make sure you stay till the end. And I'm sure that I'll not take much of your time. I'll pretty much speed up because most of you guys are, if you guys are working employees, then you have to rush for the office, and some of you have other works to do. So I'll wrap it up as soon as possible. But this surprise is I'll be revealing at the end of this video. So, so before we jump on the GitHub Actions, so let's understand what is CI/CD pipeline. So why do we need? And then I'll drive to GitHub Actions. So CI/CD, like you might have heard, is continuous integration and continuous deployment. So in traditional words, the bookish kind of English is so where the developers push their changes and it triggers the pipeline, and then it will run all the unit test cases and the sonar cube scans, and then it gets deployed to the target environment. So the target environment could be anything. It could be EKS, ECS, Lambda, or auto scaling group, EC2 instances. So it could be anything, but so the traditional bookish definition is uh, the someone will push the changes to the source code and then it gets deployed to the target environment. So as the company is evolving, right? So like the CI/CD pipeline process is also like streamlined. So it is also more optimized in such a way that as soon as the developers pushes the code to the source code, so he gets the feedback pretty fast. Like when I say feedback, he gets the feedback related to any secrets leaks in in their source code, or like if any unit tests are failing, or if any vulnerabilities that they found in the source code. So those will be it will be showing on the dashboard on the CI, like whichever tool is they're using. It's kind of getting generated as part of the push to the source code. So that is one thing that is streamlined, and then it basically gives a developer's experience that if any bugs they found in their CI, those will be addressed immediately. So that's where we actually DevOps engineers will come into picture. So we kind of help them to sort out, like we help them to set up their software development. I mean, help them to deploy their software in most optimized way. So that's why DevOps engineers will come into picture, and then they will use multiple tools. Like in market, we have multiple tools like Jenkins, GitLab CI, and also we have Bamboo pipelines. And also along with that, like recently, GitHub Actions is one training tool that most companies, most startups, more product-based companies, they're looking for. And it was evolved like for the past a few years, like more of like most of the companies started adopting most of the existing setups, existing like the companies they're using, if they're using Jenkins, if they're using GitLab, they started migrating to GitHub Actions because it gives you more flexibility, and it gives you like kind of ecosystems where you can integrate everything in one single place. So that's the main advantage. So when it comes to GitHub Actions, so so it's just like another CI/CD tool, but it gives like multiple features that the other CI/CD tools won't support. Like so, GitHub Actions is a powerful tool where you integrate. It will be part of your source code. Like whenever you create a repo in the GitHub, it it gives the feature automatically on the UI itself specific to the repo. So it gives kind of flexibility for the developer, so they don't have to rely on some other tools. So and it also gives flexibility if you raise any PRs. it will be by default integrated with the uh, GitHub. And also, it also provides the security features, and you can also store your credentials on secrets. There is a feature in GitHub Actions. And so the UI, the whatever the pipeline that gets run, it gives you user friendly, where you can easily see the logs of the pipeline, and you can see like who triggered, like, and also the commits that are part of the pipeline. So everything is like integrated with the part of the GitHub Actions. So, and why it is why the GitHub Action is in trend is that, like I mentioned in the previously, so it gives you flexibility for the developers to automatically see the changes wherever the source code sits. And when it comes when you compare this with the other CI tools, right? So it gives like for example, if you take a Jenkins, right, it has its own plugins. So similarly, in GitHub Actions, we have a marketplace where you get all the tokens, I mean, all the plugins. In GitHub terminology, we call it as actions, ready use actions in the marketplace, where you can use those, and you can like use those functionality of those token. For example, if you want to log in into the AWS account, so there is also already an action available called as AWS credentials action. So you can make use of it to log in into the AWS account. You don't have to write a specific. And also the other benefit is you can write reusable workflows that you can use across projects. So you can create a template. You can create it at once that will be used across the projects. You basically place the template in a centralized location. And other than that, you can create your custom actions. For example, if there is a requirement from the dev guys that, or if there is a requirement in our the CI/CD pipeline, that's some functionality that you might think that will be used in other pipelines as well, then the only best way is to create a custom action. So you create a custom action that you place in the folder. So all other pipelines which uses the same functionality, they will just use that custom action. So that kind of flexibility. And the other important thing is, right, you can run the self-hosted runners on GitHub Actions. You can set it up like for any CI/CD pipeline. If the jobs that they want to run, they you need to run those on runners, right? You need a physical server to run your jobs. So like GitHub Actions will provide a self-host. I mean, GitHub Actions provide its own runners, but that we don't use in the real time because you don't get all the pre-installed software as part of the runners. Uh, so the only like advantage for actions that it provides is the self-hosted runners. So with self-hosted runners, you can customize your runners behavior, where you can install all the predefined softwares automatically. So you just run your jobs. For example, if you want to run your Java-based applications, so the JDK version, so everything you can install, and the Maven for the build tool, so everything will be configured in the runner. So you just make use of that runner for you. So it will basically reduce your deployment time. So so the other important thing that you need to understand is AML. So GitHub Action templates will be everything written in the AML. So AML is like it's a template so that you define all the steps required for your CI/CD pipeline. So in the AML, it is like kind of a key value pair, and you also be. I mean, it will also include a map list. If you guys, if someone from you from a developer background, so you might know about like the map list uh, behavior, but it mostly on the key value pair. So which is like if someone from new guy joined the project, if someone reads this template, it's like at least some can, I mean, extent he can able to understand what is written on the template. So this is the like sample uh, GitHub action workflow. So the left side denotes the key and the right side denotes the value. So this name is the workflow name, so that you define at the beginning. And the next one is the trigger. Like Jenkins, you have a triggers like when you want to trigger your job. So like in GitHub Actions, we have a trigger on push. So on is the key, push is the value. So what does it means, right? So every time you make a push to the workflow, it gets created a new job where it runs all your steps that you define inside the job section. So right now in my job, I have one job with the build name. So build job I have. So the build job runs on Ubuntu latest runner. So runs on is basically on which runner your job's executing. So right now I'm running this job on Ubuntu latest. So this Ubuntu latest is provided by the GitHub team. So I'm just making use of it. And then the steps. The step section is actually the steps that you define. For example, if you can define the steps like checkout step, and you can define steps like build section, Sonar scan step. So all these will be defined as part of the steps section. So right now I define the step, just printing an echo hello world GitHub Actions. So and then I'm like using a run section where you define all the commands that you need to execute as on this runner. So let's run this simple job. So let's create a new repository. Let's name it as and then give a description. You generally give the description what the repo speaks, what the developer source code, whatever they written, they'll give the project description. But just for the sake of the demo, I'm giving just a description like my first GitHub action workflow. And then the visibility, you can set it up either private or public. For now, I'm setting up public. And then I'm allowing a README file that gets created as part of the repo creation. And then I'm clicking on creating the repository. So the repo is created. So now what I'm doing, right? So I want to add the GitHub action workflow, right, to this. So for that, I'm creating a folder. So all the workflows will be part of on this specific folder .github slash workflows slash and the workflow name. So I'm giving workflow.yml. So it ends, so the workflow ends with .yml, and this is the name of the workflow. And then you can add the content here. So I'm committing the changes and then giving the commit message. Just giving message to print hello at GitHub Actions. So I have made a commit to the main branch, and let's see how the trigger, like you can see, it started triggering. So the job started executing. So if you go inside the job, so this is the job name which I was talking, the build. If you go inside this job, so you'll see all the steps that is part of the job. So where it will first set up the job, and then it will run the steps, whatever the steps that you define, and it basically print out hello GitHub Actions. So if you like see right here, it basically make use of the runner provided by GitHub. You can also make use of your own runner, but that will be part of the course, so you don't need to worry. But just see how it's behaving, like the UI part, the logs part, and then it is like executed echo hello GitHub Actions. And if you see right, you have a summary and you have a workflow file. Like if you click on workflow file, you'll see what template you used. And also, if you click on the summary, you can actually see this dashboard, like who triggered this, on which brand, what is the status of the job, how much, like how many minutes the job ran. And also it gives the workflow like stages. Right now it is a like simple workflow. That's why you see only one stage. But as you go, like when we do actual projects, you'll see like multiple stages, starting from building the source code until the deployment. So like I'll take up like all your questions at the end of this course, where I'll unmute you all. But I'll just cover what I have in my plate. So next one is the curriculum. So let me open the curriculum. So like in this course where I will be teaching everything starting from the basic to the advanced, more into the GitHub Actions and the different concepts. So along with the concept, like I'll be also showing the demos for each concept so that it will be so you don't remember you don't need to remember the concept like you know to mug up like in terms of the whenever you're preparing for the interview. So when you like when I'm teaching the concept, like I'll do like hands-on whatever we discuss, so that will be easy for you to even more understand, so that it will be remembered forever. And and also along with that, like all the job related, just like I showed, like the different concepts, and also I'll also be covering the security features in the GitHub Actions, like where you I'll be talking about the how you manage the secrets and also permissions, all this concepts. And also I'll be teaching the advanced features in GitHub Actions, where I'll be walking through the like the metrics kind of concepts, where you can run jobs on multiple times. And also I'll be showing the practical examples, and also I'll be showing the conditional executions of the job, where you can control the jobs based on a specific condition. As I mentioned, like we'll be talking about the reusable workflows, just like a Jenkins shared libraries you have, right? Some of you, if you guys worked on um, Jenkins, so the similar concept we have it in GitHub Actions, where we'll be talking about shared libraries. But also we'll be discussing about the custom actions, where you can create your own custom actions for a specific functionality. And then finally the projects, where I'll be uh, talking about. Uh, kind of a pipeline that gets deployed in the Kubernetes, where I'll be also talking about the DevSecOps kind of way of handling the scanning part, and also the Sonar scans. So that is also be covering. When it comes to like the final projects, where you'll be doing projects related to where you will be setting up your own self-hosted runner, and also we'll create a pipeline project where that gets deployed in the AWS using Terraform. And also finally a project that also a full-fledged project that you deploy to the Kubernetes environment. So look, when it comes to this course will be like the experience that it covered is from 0 to 8 years. So whoever like working in the IT, or whoever is beginner for like it will be covering from basic to the advanced. And when it comes to like at least the certifications, so right now, if you look at the certifications that I have done, uh, if you guys see, right, let me share that. So the certifications that I have done is like I've done certification, GitHub Action certification, and GitHub Administration, and GitHub Advanced Security. And also done GitHub Copilot last year, and also GitHub Co-Foundations. But you don't have to worry about all other certifications. But like GitHub Actions, you something that you can prepare and you can attempt. So I'll be sharing like if you are interested to do that at the end of this course, you are like I'll be advising like the concept that you need to focus in order to complete the certification. So these certifications will give you an added advantage whenever you are uh, attending the interviews, trying to apply jobs. This gives you an added advantage for the recruiters or like HRs to select your resume. So I'll be also sharing the links that you can apply. Uh, for example, you can go to this link to register your certifications. Like here, you can see you can add it to the your cart, and then you can uh, enroll the certificate, and you can do the certification, and it is provided by the Microsoft. And also, like at the end of this course, I'll be also sharing you the points that you need to mention in the resume. That will like literally like these are like the points that I'll share the real-time experience points. That is also that we'll be doing in our course, which gives you added advantage during interviews. And also, I'll be sharing the recordings as soon as the session is end. And if you guys are not able to attend the session, so but you can still go through the recordings. And the course timings for this session is like I'll be uh, uh, planning to start the session by tomorrow, and the session starts at the regular time 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. As soon as the session is over, I'll be sharing the recordings. So well, like 1 hour will be the technical discussion, and the other 30 minutes will be the actual like doubt clarifications. So yeah, finally, when it comes to the surprise I was talking, so this course is not just a GitHub Actions. Like I have added in the curriculum more into GitHub Actions, but apart from the GitHub Actions, I will also be adding a sessions related to AI. So when I say AI, it is like GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot is like it's a training tool and it's a AI tool. A lot of organizations started adopting GitHub Copilot on their enterprise. So it is like most of the developers, DevOps engineers, they started adopting this GitHub Copilot. And if you like mention in the resume that the features of GitHub Copilot, so this gives you an added advantage for your resume that the recruiters will get inspired if they see the features that GitHub Copilot. And who will be delivering this GitHub Copilot sessions? These sessions will be delivering by GitHub Expert. So right now, we have the GitHub expert in our call who closely works with GitHub. So I have like also worked on GitHub in my past experience. I worked closely with the GitHub partners where we help with multiple clients to migrate their CI/CD pipelines to GitHub Actions, and also help them to migrate their repositories from GitLab, Bitbucket, and other source code, I mean, other source controls to GitHub cloud, basically. So yeah, and so Sukumar is a GitHub expert. Uh, uh, Basically, he closely works with the GitHub currently, and he's also a certified Copilot trainer where he delivers trainings on the client locations. So I have Sukumar in this class, so I'll hand over to him. Just he will show you like the concept that he's gonna cover as part of the GitHub Copilot.
So, thank you, Surya. Thank you for that. Just give me a minute. Hey everyone, this is Sukumar, and I have 9 years of experience in software industry. I basically started with United Health Group, also called Optum, then moved to different companies. I also worked with Rackspace, EPAM, and few startups as well. And I started with manual testing and did some DevOps and development cloud, and currently working with GitHub Copilot on GitHub Copilot enablement. So uh, we usually take these sessions, we go to the client locations and deliver these GitHub Copilot related sessions, and also for other GitHub products, which are like GitHub Enterprise Cloud and Enterprise Server and GitHub Advanced Security as well. So we'll be covering GitHub Copilot topics. So I'll just give you demo about how the GitHub Copilot works and what we'll be covering in the upcoming demos, upcoming sessions. And let me share my screen. You can see my screen now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will be covering what is GitHub Copilot and what are its competitors and how you can install it and how you can use it And we will try to cover it from developer point of view and also DevOps point of view, how it can be useful when you are writing code or writing configuration files like Terraform scripts or Jenkins files or GitHub Actions files, and some basic features like code completions and next edit suggestions. There are different chat modes like ask, edit, and agent. We will also cover those. There are some shortcuts on how to use GitHub Copilot in your editors. The IDEs, you can be using VS Code or IntelliJ or Xcode, any other IDE that is available. You have to basically install the extension and start logging in with your GitHub account, and you can start using the GitHub Copilot. So we will also show how you can do that. And before even doing that, you need to have a license to do that. So you can buy it from the GitHub Copilot license page. If you go to github.com/about, there is a platform under which we have GitHub Copilot, and you can go to see plans and pricing. And these are the plans for individuals, not for business. So you can opt for free plan, which basically gives some features like 50 agent mode requests per month and 2,000 code completions per month. And some of the models that are available are Claude Sonnet 3.5 and 3. GPT 4.1. So it is kind of similar to how you use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is basically a website where you can go and give your query and get some response. You either copy paste that response and make those changes in your local. But with GitHub, if you have the extension installed in your IDE, you don't have to go to a different website or do those things. You can directly open the IDE and just talk to Copilot from here itself. So there are multiple chat modes available. If you are on ask mode, it just gives you responses. And if you are on edit mode, it can make necessary changes to your files. And if you are on agent mode, it can do everything for you. It depends on how you are prompting it. So all you have to do is explain your task to GitHub Copilot clearly. For example, if you want to write a shell script for deploying something to EC2 instance, right? You can switch to agent mode and then tell Copilot, create a shell script for deploying a web application to AWS EC2 instance. And you can even provide more details like where you are storing the credentials or what commands you want to execute. So all it takes is a natural language prompt that you have to give, and it generates the code for you, the shell script or Terraform scripts or the YAML files or Kubernetes deployment files or replica sets, config maps, anything that you can do with GitHub Copilot. All you have to do is explain it clearly what you're trying to do in plain natural language. So these are some of the features that we will be covering in the session for basic features. And we will also see how you can use the context variables and extensions and slash commands, and how you can provide context to Copilot using the context button here, how you can select each file or the functions or classes inside your code and tell Copilot to work on them. And we will also cover some additional features like custom instructions, how you can give some memory to Copilot so that it doesn't forget few instructions every time you send a new message. Every time you start a new conversation, it will have some memory about those instructions. For example, you want to use a particular GitHub Actions while deploying any app to AWS or anything, right? You can tell Copilot to remember that. You can do that with custom instructions. And we will also discuss how you can use Copilot on github.com. Basically, you can open the any repository that is available on GitHub And you should have this icon called Chat with Copilot. And when you click on that, it directly takes you to the ChatGPT kind of interface where your repository is attached as context and you can ask anything about your repository or ask Copilot to make any changes in your repository. It basically creates a PR and you can review that PR. You don't have to clone your repository to your local and then open the extension and try giving prompt there and reviewing the changes that are made. You can do it directly on github.com. These are some of the features for advanced topics. And we also have coding agent where you can just tell Copilot to make some changes. For example, if you have a repository which does not contain any documentation or any test cases or any workflow files, right? For DevOps, you might want to have the YAML files for deploying to Lambda or EKS or anything, or you might want to have some Helm charts, right? So you can delegate such tasks to Copilot, and it creates a PR for you, which you can review and uh, merge or ask Copilot for make more changes. So those are the things that coding agent can do for you. It runs on GitHub entirely, not in your local. So once you have a browser, you should be good to go. You don't need an IDE or extension to be installed. You should just have a browser and a GitHub account and GitHub Copilot license. You should be good to go. And we also have a code reviewer, which basically reviews the code that is created by you or created by Copilot itself. Once you have the PR ready, the pull request ready, which has to be reviewed, you can assign Copilot to review it. It reads through the entire changes that it has done or you have done and give you some comments on how to improve the code or the configuration that you have made for Terraform or Jenkins files or any shell script or anything. And we have tool sets as well, where you can use this feature in your local IDE. You can create different tool sets. It's like grouping multiple tools that are available for Copilot and asking Copilot to use those tool sets. And we have reusable prompts, which are like creating shortcuts when using Copilot. There are some inbuilt shortcuts, and also you can create your own shortcuts for Copilot, and you can share them with your teammates. For example, you are trying to give a prompt, right? Um, the one that we just shown, right? Create a GitHub Actions file, workflow to build, test, and deploy this app to, for example, EKS. So I can have this in a separate file and consider that as a shortcut. And I can push that file to GitHub, and then my other teammates can just come here and do slash and the file name. They should be able to use that shortcut. See, these are some of the inbuilt shortcuts that are available. You can just do slash, you can switch to ask mode and do slash help, and you can see all the available inbuilt shortcuts. We also have instructions files, which are specific to language and also directories. And we will also discuss prompt engineering techniques and how you can add context to Copilot chat window. And we'll also see how the edit mode can work and agent mode can work. Basically, all you have to do is explain your query to agent mode, and then it makes all the necessary changes. It runs the necessary commands. It calls the different tools. It can read the different web pages for you and then understand them and make necessary changes. For example, you have a repository in your local, right? If you switch to agent mode and ask it to run in your local, it can run those instructions and set up the repository for you. And we also have premium requests, which is basically like using premium models or premium features in GitHub Copilot itself. There are some basic features and there are some premium features. So you can use the premium requests as well. And custom chat modes, which you can create your own chat modes, like how we have the ask, edit, and agent. You can create your own custom chat mode using this feature. And we will also discuss what is MCP, how you can install different MCP servers, and how you can create your own MCP server. So it is basically like enhancing the AI tools behavior. There are multiple MCP servers available. If you go to MCP servers uh, a repository, right? There is a repository for that, or you can just go to github.com/MCP, right? There is a registry for that, and you can install any of the AI tool related MCP servers here and then use them. For example, you are working on Azure, right? You can install this Azure MCP server, and then if you go back to the Copilot and then ask Copilot to deploy this app to Azure, it knows what tool to call and how to deploy it. You don't have to push any changes to GitHub and then call any tool manually or run any script manually to do that. So this Azure MCP server will take care of those things. Azure DevOps and Azure MCP server. You also have Terraform and MongoDB, Elasticsearch, Sentry. There are many such MCP servers available for you. If none of these are working for your use case, you can create your own MCP server. We will also discuss how to do that. And we also have Atlassian. You can connect Jira and then use Copilot to work with it. So, for example, you can just directly tell uh, there is a Jira ticket. Uh, you can provide the Jira URL and then ask Copilot to work on this ticket, make necessary changes. It reads the ticket, understands the context, and makes the necessary changes in your repository. So these are some of the features that we will be looking in the upcoming sessions. And we will also have Q&A as well for each of those sessions. We will try to clarify as many questions as possible. And if I'm not sure about any question that you have asked, I'll try to find out the answer and try to get back to you in the next sessions. Yeah, I think that is it. Surya, you can take off from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, Ukma.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information and a lot of new concepts that were part of Copilot. Like when I was giving training, I don't have these new features like MCP servers and also uh, passing the context as a file. So we don't have that options. But right now, like it was, Copilot is like evolving, I mean, super rapidly. So those who are like gets trained as part of Copilot, this like basically boost your day-to-day activities. So they like as a DevOps engineers, we mostly work on user stories that gets assigned to us, and these user stories, like some of them, like pretty straightforward that you can solve it in 1 or 2 days, but some of them need little bit AI assistance to create the logic. So we don't have to logic create a logic uh, from top to bottom. So that era is like ended. Like so typically now the AI agents started giving the even for the GitHub Action workflow templates. So they itself is giving the templates. But what you need to understand the like the code as like whatever the AI is generated the code, you need to analyze the code, how the functionality is behaving, how you can like alter the code. So you cannot like blindly trust these agents. But these agents like it reduces half of your time to write the code or fix a bug or doing an enhancement or implement a new features. So these are like pretty useful in day-to-day activities. And one like especially like it is AI is evolving in every field, but when it comes to the DevOps, so GitHub Copilot is like I mentioned in the previous like previously I mentioned like so whoever is adopting the AI like that it will boost your day-to-day activities pretty like 100% for sure. So and I'm sure like I'm 100% confident that whatever the content Sukumar showed, you will never get in the online. So like I'm confident about that. Yeah, and yeah, like finally we are end up the demo when it comes to the pricing for this course. I think yeah the course fee like so the course fee is like 4,999, and whoever joined, like there are like yesterday, like without a demo, there are like five participants joined already, five people already joined. So like only like whoever like part of first 10 people, so they will get 1K discount, and the price will be reduced to 3,999 as part of the fee. Yeah, that you can reach out to me. You can either ping me in uh, Instagram, or you can ping me in WhatsApp. I'll post my number in this chart. So the course starts from tomorrow, uh, basically where we will be uh, doing the curriculum. We'll be following the curriculum along with the GitHub Copilot, whatever the Kumar highlighted. Yeah, I think it's time for addressing your questions. If you have any questions, you can start asking one by one. Yeah, go ahead. Whoever is having questions. Can you guys unmute also? Yeah, can you guys try to unmute now? Whoever having questions. I think, yeah, Simon is. You can go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, okay. So, do we need to have prior knowledge on Docker and Kubernetes to, like, as you have mentioned, we will be covering
Manoj, your voice is breaking.
the project on.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, now it's clear.
So, do we need to have a prior Docker or Kubernetes knowledge? So, as you have mentioned, we'll be covering the project as well, right? So,
Yeah,
where
the
you like,
basic,
do we need to
basic.
cover?
Mm, mhm. Yeah, the
So, will that
basic
be
knowledge is
covered
enough.
in the course itself, or okay?
So we'll not be covering full Docker and Kubernetes, but by the time we doing the demo, right? So we will cover the basics of like whatever we are using in the
Mm-hmm.
workflow template, the steps. So that will be we will be explaining that. Yeah, no
Okay.
issues with that. So you don't get confused when you are implementing. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. And one more thing, like it's, it's a general question, like how different it is from online course which we are having in YouTube or anything like that.
yeah, yeah.
Like what else? What is this? The thing
Like
which you're going to cover that.
so throughout this course, like so you will be stuck in multiple places in terms of understanding the concepts or doing hands-on. So that time, like you can simply reach out to me. Like I'll be available 24/7, except the office hours that I'll be part of.
Mhm.
But even if it's often hours, like I'll try to address your questions. And it's not just okay, GitHub Actions related. If you have any general questions, career guidance,
Mhm.
resume
Okay.
points, what points you need to add. Like thing like throughout, like this course will be like 2, 3. week, depending upon the concept that we are discussing. So throughout this phase, so whatever you have questions, clarifications that you need, those will be addressed right
Okay,
away. Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you. So like we have another question from Hari. Yeah, the classes will be Monday to Friday, and yeah, weekends there won't be any classes. I think like Saturday we'll have class, but yeah, that depends if majority of you are not willing to join or not available. Uh, but if you have something that you need attention, like we need any doubts, clarifications, questions that you need to know, so that you can we can set it up on the Saturdays. Any other questions from anyone?
Yeah, one more question. As you have mentioned, we have this Copilot course as well. So, what is the course duration we can expect?
So for Copilot, I think Sukumar, is it like 2 days you're gonna cover?
Yeah, Surya. 2 days.
Yeah, we will be covering 2 days, or we'll be covering all the features. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, thanks.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, Chaitanya, will you provide any task after the class? Yeah, we'll be doing any hands-on, right? So to be frank, whatever the concepts in DevOps is not just GitHub Actions. Any concepts that any tools, functionality, if you want to learn, so for sure you need to do the hands-on. So then only we'll be able to understand the concept properly. So yeah, so like for every concept that we do, like I'll be showing the demo so that you can practice. And yeah, other than that, if you have any, if you want to do like more into actions, I'll be also giving you task specific to your use case. For example, if some of you already working on GitHub Actions, and if you have like a setup that your project is using, if you need hands on that, so that will be also I'll be addressing. If you have any custom queries. So any other questions from anyone? It should not be like any like related to GitHub Actions or Copilot. It should be anything, any general questions. If you are switching to DevOps or any general questions, feel free to ask because it's the right time to clarify something. Or if you want to switch to DevOps world, you can feel free to ask. If you are
Hi,
hesitant to ask, yeah,
Hi, bro, this is Chaitanya.
yeah,
I have some little bit knowledge on the Bitbucket Copilot. So I have created like a chart process only, how to create the Bitbucket repositories and branches only. And when I was trying to create integrated with the automation of Bitbucket repo creation and the project creations, I have faced some difficulties. Like we need to use these API keys, right? So
yeah,
for that I'm not getting that how to create those. So is this similar to Bitbucket Copilot? Or, you said explain the GitHub Copilot, right? So is that
yeah.
similar to Bitbucket, or we have some more different between these two, like Bitbucket and GitHub?
Yeah. So Kumar, you want to answer
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. So, Bitbucket and GitHub are two different things. So, GitHub is basically
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, and then
Mm-hmm.
Copilot is basically another feature created by GitHub, and that is not available directly on Bitbucket. And
Mm-hmm.
GitHub Copilot that we are going to discuss is a tool which will be helpful for developers or DevOps engineers when you run that in local. And if you already have a GitHub account, right, that is also available on github.com. And
Mm-hmm.
because Bitbucket and GitHub are two different companies and they don't have any thing in common, it's just about two players in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Copilot is not directly available on Bitbucket, but if you have a repository on Bitbucket and you can clone it to your local, right? You can open it
Mm,
in your IDE and still use the GitHub Copilot license and enhance your workflow there. But you cannot
okay.
directly use the same thing on Bitbucket. But you can use
Mm,
that same thing in on github.com.
okay. Coming to this open source, is that GitHub bucket is free, or we need to create? We need to pay something.
Um, for GitHub account, you can directly create that. It is free. And for getting the GitHub Copilot, right, that is
Mm,
free for 1 month. And after that, you have to choose the license that you want to have. Like there are multiple licenses for individuals and there are multiple licenses for business. So a
mm,
license basically starts with $10 per month for individuals, and it can go until $39 if it is Pro Plus. So there are multiple features available if you buy those licenses. So it depends on how you want to use, how many premium requests you want to use, and what models you want to have access to. So behind the
mm,
scenes, even ChatGPT and Claude, these are all using different models, right? So if you buy the ChatGPT subscription, right, you have access to only ChatGPT models, the GPT models, which are from OpenAI. But if you
okay.
buy Claude subscription, right, you have only access to Claude models from Anthropic.
Mm,
But if you buy
mm,
the Copilot, right, you have access to Claude models and also GPT models. And there are some models from Google as well, the Gemini models. And there are some models from Grok, the
mm,
XAI Grok. And you can even use your own language models, the large language models, in your VS Code. So these are some of the features if you buy Copilot license.
One more thing.
Yeah.
We're going to cover this to integrate with Copilot with servers, right? Like Linux servers, some Jenkins, or like we have some other tools, right? Tomcat, something.
Uh, if there is an MCP server to do that, we can definitely do that. But if not, this will help you to create those scripts or deployment files, and it can also run those commands in your local so that you can deploy it to the servers or the Kubernetes clusters or anything. So it can do those things.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Chaitanya. Do you have anything else? Are you good?
No, no.
Okay. Perfect. So we have another question from Varma Aditya. So can I use my 1.7 years of experience while applying for jobs, or should I apply as a fresher? So, so the fact is that nobody wants like but at least for the DevOps roles, right? They are actually looking for the senior engineer, at least 3 plus or 2 plus. So if you just apply for as a fresher, if you mentioned like you are a fresher for a DevOps role, then the chances of getting you at least the resume selections it will take time. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but things will take time if you mention the freshers. And whatever you, since you are doing a certification or solution architect, you can define like what you have learned steps, and if you have done a small project, uh, you can mention that in your resume. And you should be like whatever you mention in the resume, make sure you are able to answer that during the interviews. Uh, so you should not like doing copy paste. But and also that so there are so many cloud roles that are available in the market, and just try give a try with the cloud roles. If not, you should add some add-ons like DevOps um, tools as part of your resume. That gives added advantage. Yeah. And yeah, any other questions if you have?
Hi, Surya and Sukuma.
Hey, hi, Magna.
Okay.
Hi, Surya. I just need to ask in this project, it will be covered Docker and Kubernetes CI/CD project also
Yeah, yeah, yes,
deployment.
yes.
Okay.
So where we will be doing It's like it's not, and like yeah, like you mentioned, it is part of that. But these pipelines is not just a regular pipeline. Like you just have the steps defined in one single template, and then you trigger, and then gets executed. It should not be like that. So whatever the project that we do, it is like matching to the real world. What happens when a developer pushes the code? Will it be deployed to all environments, or will it be deployed only on dev? It should be like whenever they push the changes, the first thing they should check in the dev environment, right? You should not deploy to all environments. That kind of setup we'll do in the project. I hope you clear, like it's clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one more question. The sessions will be recorded. Uh,
Yes.
so whatever we're doing from,
Yes. 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 Yes.
it's good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Chetan. Yeah. Yeah. We can connect after this session. So yeah, you can message me or you can call me to a WhatsApp number that I pinned in the chat.
Hello. Hi, Surya. This is Prashant.
Hey, hi Prashant.
This recording sections is available from lifetime or some period.
This will be lifetime.
Okay,
And
thanks.
yeah, I'll just upload the right. You can do whatever you want. You can download. You can place it in your own drive. Whatever you want to do, you can do. No issues with that.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, one more question. So, what is the difference between Jenkins and GitHub Actions CI/CD tool?
Yeah. So Jenkins, uh, it's coming from very long years, right? So whoever uh, like work on automations in the earlier years, so they start with the Jenkins. And the comparison we could do, right? When it comes to advantage, Jenkins is like a powerful tool, just like GitHub Actions. The only problem with the Jenkins is in terms of management. So you need to install on your own. You need to manage the servers. You need to do kind of upgrades to the Jenkins. And if you want to uh, integrate some kind of plugins, you need to install those plugins every time you want to implement any features. But with GitHub Actions, you don't have to maintain anything. You just write your templates on your source code. And one good part is like what the source code. So in Jenkins, you like the source code sits on GitHub or Bitbucket or any other source code tools. But in GitHub Actions, it is integrated with your repository, GitHub repository. So where the source code and the actions will be on the same. It will be giving a better experience for the developers to make the changes and see the changes. There are a lot more differences, advantages, disadvantages in both the tools, but at a high level, this is the difference. I think you are on mute, Manjunathan, if you are speaking.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
No problem. So any other questions if you have any? It should not be a question related to actions or Copilot. It should be any general questions. If you are not comfortable to talk now, you can message and query. I mean, I'll be addressing your question. You can that ping me in the WhatsApp. Uh, um, like if you don't have any questions, then we can wrap it up. Uh, if you need any further, having any other questions, you can reach out to me. The classes starts from tomorrow. Uh, yeah, I think I really appreciate. Yeah, Simon, do you have any question?
Yeah, this GitHub Actions and Copilot certification which you have did it, is it for free or is it having some fees for that?
Yeah, it's a paid one because it's powered by the Microsoft, right? So you have to pay
Okay,
some
okay,
dollars. Like it is like minimum. Like I don't remember the price, but yeah, I
mhm.
can find it and share it to you. But this is
Okay.
I mean, paid, like powered by the Microsoft.
Okay. So the training for certification will also be included, like
Yeah.
anything from your side
Sorry, I didn't get your question, Manoj. Can
for
you repeat?
certification. Is there anything, I mean, training kind of thing is provided from your side as well?
Yeah, whatever the concept that we cover will be useful for the
Mm-hmm.
certification as well. But for the
Okay.
certifications, you need to prepare a lot
Mm-hmm.
in terms of wide. This is like wide ocean, right? But don't
Yeah.
worry, if you are planning for certification, I'll help you. No issues with it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
So we have a question from Harry. So I'm working as a ADO. I mean, I'm aware of ADO and Jenkins. Will it be useful for me to take this GitHub Actions course? Yeah, if you are already if you are aware of ADO and Jenkins, then it'll be pretty, I mean, easy for you guys uh, to understand uh, way better. And it also, like, if you adopt this course, it will be giving added advantage to our resume. And also, since we are integrating with the for the course Copilot as well, so that will also gives you an added advantage. I hope I answered your question, Harry. Yeah, if you don't have any other questions, I think we can wrap it up. Can you please repeat it again? Yeah. So if you are already aware of ADO and Jenkins, then GitHub Actions will be pretty easy for you to understand the concept. And since we are also integrated the Copilot to this course, so this, if you along with the actions, if you add the Copilot features in your resume that you be aware, that will be added advantage. Any other questions? Okay, yeah. If we don't have any other questions, yeah. If you still have any questions that you need, okay, we can ask in offline. Like whoever wants to connect in offline, you can just ping me in Instagram or WhatsApp. You can just note down my number. I'll try to help you address your questions. Yeah. Once again, thank you guys for taking your time on everything. I hope this session gives you the training in terms of DevOps and the Copilot. Yeah. See you. Have a good day. Thanks for joining.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, team. Bye.